All right, I'm here with Aron Klos from Marvin Windows. How you doing today, Aaron?
Good. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing well, thanks. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? So I have a couple of questions here. I'm going to ask you just about consumer behavior in general and your role at Marvin Windows. So first question, what is Marvin Windows exactly?
Yeah, so Marvin Windows is a window and door manufacturer. We specialize in residential. We do some commercial windows and doors. We have multiple locations around the country, including here in Fargo. We've got 3 plants. We've got the corporate and main manufacturing facility is actually in Warroad, Minnesota. That's right under the Canadian border. We've got locations in Colorado, Oregon, Florida, Northeast, and we sell to mostly the United States, but we also have some international business with Europe and Japan, actually.
Wow, I didn't know you guys were that big. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is your current title at Marvin Windows?
I am a quality engineer at one of the buildings here in Fargo. So what I do mostly is work with, or I listen to the voice of the customer, really, dealing with some of the defective product that we get, and I get a lot of that feedback from those defective products, where they give me comments on what's wrong. They are able to pretty much send pictures, videos, whatever is wrong with it, and I get that feedback directly. So I work to address those issues, and understand the customer's needs and issues, and from there, kind of develop some of those solutions to those problems to address them.
Awesome.
I also, sorry to interrupt, I'm also part of multiple project teams to bring new products to the market, such as maybe some new customizations for windows. I specifically specialize in the casement windows, which are the crankouts.
Okay. So not so much with doors or any of your other products?
No, I don't really do a whole lot with doors. It's mostly the crankouts, so you have awnings, your normal casements, and then we also do a lot of the larger picture units, we call them.
Gotcha.
That don't open up but are just kind of more of the stationary type. So, like I said, we kind of bring new products to the market, some of those customizations, maybe some new accessories, to not only the consumer but also to kind of the contractors and builders. So we kind of have, I'm going to kind of digress a little bit here, but we have 2 kind of customers, really. We have the direct, like, homeowners that,
okay,
they want to build a house and they'll order certain types of windows for their house.
Mm-hmm.
We also have builders who are a larger portion of the customer base, where they want, where they're going to be doing the building for maybe a larger building. It could be commercial. It could be a very large house or something. But
okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
awesome. So you mentioned getting feedback from clients from the internet and kind of fixing their problems. So what is it that you do with clients on a regular basis, if you do?
Can you rephrase that a little bit more?
I guess this is a better way to ask it. Is there any time in your job where you're face-to-face with the client rather than just hearing their comments or concerns either through the internet or from a higher up?
Yeah, so I've actually sat in a few meetings with myself, our continuous improvement group, and some of those representatives of the builders.
Mm-hmm.
So those companies will send a rep, and we will talk about some of their wants and needs that they bring up and that we need to address. So it could be anything from, like I said earlier, some of those customizations that that they're looking for. Maybe they are in need of just a better process. It doesn't necessarily always have to be the actual window. It could be small parts. It could be as simple as like a screen for your window.
Okay, gotcha.
So it really revolves around a lot of different things. And I've definitely sat in some meetings where we are talking face to face directly to them
Gotcha.
on what those wants are from them.
Awesome. Very cool. So kind of to stray away from your position now, I guess, how did you get interested in engineering?
Oh man, yeah. So I guess growing up I was always pretty decent at kind of the math, sciences, some of that technical type of coursework in school. And my dad was an engineer, so I kind of, in a sense, followed in those footsteps. I knew that engineering was a good field to go in. It not only for obviously it pays decent, but I know that there's a lot of different paths you can take in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now I'm a quality engineer, but I could go into a more technical side with like research and development if I wanted, or I could maybe go into more of a even more direct customer type of engineering with like sales engineering or product development engineering. There's a lot of different paths, and I don't know, for some reason that was really attractive to me when, especially going through like the later stages of college, it started to form a little bit more on like, oh yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I actually am interested in. So
Gotcha. That's awesome. So now coming back to Marvin as a whole, could you talk a little bit about Marvin's customer service and what that's all about?
Yeah. So I guess as an overall statement, I mean, there are a lot of avenues with customer service. Overall, the customer service realm of Marvin is very relationship oriented.
Okay.
They want to develop those relationships with the customers and keep them stable or even improve them over time. So it could be, honestly, if a customer has any issue, Marvin is pretty much gonna, try to help the customer right away as fast as possible, and do whatever they can to make sure that the customer gets what they need, at, I would honestly say, any cost.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They will do whatever they can to make sure that the customer is happy. And from their success, it's been working. So
yeah, that's awesome. You don't really hear of a ton of companies that are that fast to respond to a consumer's needs and stuff like that. So that's very cool.
Right.
So I guess following off of that, what do you guys do at Marvin? Maybe not just your position, but you guys as a company. What do you guys do to ensure that your client is satisfied for the most part?
Yeah. So if a customer has an issue, the corporate or the headquarters in War Road, they pretty much take all of those customer service calls, and they will relay that to whatever manufacturing plant is responsible.
Okay.
So let's say Sue from the Northeast wants 3 new windows made, but they're built, here in Fargo. Mm-hmm. That'll go through War Road, and they'll pretty much they'll help them as much as they can up there as far as like costs. Like they'll give discounts or even like courtesy installation, that kind of thing.
Okay.
To kind of appease the the issue, and then World will give that information back to the manufacturing plant to make sure that we build it correctly the second time, so it doesn't happen again.
Gotcha.
So it's very high focus to make sure the customer is satisfied and not have repeat issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a little bit different than I feel like most other window or door companies that are kind of just in it for the money, and they want to get as much out of they can, as many consumers as they can. I feel like you guys have a really good sense of focusing on the consumer, which is kind of unheard of. So
well, that's the thing with Marvin's a private company, so
Yeah.
family owned
Okay.
since 1912.
Thank you.
Yeah, fun fact. So being that it's a family owned company, you kind of have that
Sense of family.
sense of family that you're getting specific attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so end goal oriented. It's we're building a product for customers that we know want it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make sure that we can do it right.
Like you said, more relationship based.
Exactly. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so kind of getting off of that topic, obviously, like the office setting is very different no matter what company you work with. So what kind of people do you work with that make you guys so successful?
Oh man, the people are very friendly. I mean, I've only been with the company for a year and a half, so I haven't seen, I've seen a small glimpse of the company,
Mm-hmm.
but